I believe in Joe Hendry.
Hello and welcome back to TNI-UK Impacted, episode 189, coming to you live by the Total Non-Stop Impact Network on YouTube and Twitch. And if you listen on the go, then we're also available on SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, wherever you list your favourite shows. I am, of course, your host, Bison, and today I am joined by the man coming to us from the void of his own brain, of course, the Joker, and the man who's recently exited his local nightclub to be with us tonight, LimpstarUK. How we doing, boys?
Hey, all good, thank you. How are you?
Mate, I am great. I'm great. The only problem is I got a bit of a cough. So if I'm coughing and spluttering through this episode, please forgive me. I'm doing my very, very best. I almost brought some Lemsip up, actually.
it's like that. It's like that scene in Monty Python in the Holy Grail where spring gives summer a miss and goes straight on into autumn.
That's it. Oh, let me turn the light on because I think we've got enough light here. Hang on. Because I know Mira start complaining that he can't see me in a minute. So I better.
Yeah, we haven't got John Cena on as a guest just yet.
No. Don't want to be doing this.
For whatever reason, he follows my Twitter. I don't know why.
Oh, really?
John Cena follows me. I've got nothing, no reason why. It just popped up one day and I was like, is this real? And I looked, I was like, it's the real account. I'm like, what do you want?
Really? John Cena? Could you see
the actual John Cena? Yeah, well, I can see his account. It's just like a blank image where the profile's going to be.
And it's definitely him?
No, it's definitely him.
Okay, I'm good.
Weird.
Oh, nice. Well, has everyone had a good week?
Yeah, it's been all right.
Yeah. The weather, like, is it winter? What's going on? Do you know what I mean? I had my headlights on, my windscreen wipers on, my fog lights on today.
I know.
July. What's going on?
I know what you're saying. It's not been too bad here, actually. It's not been too bad on the coast. But yeah, let me have a quick see what we got in the chat. So Eric's with us. He's been with us like for the last half an hour, I think. We got Mears in the house. Obviously, Melonhead is with us. Somerset Slammer. Now, I'm assuming that's got something to do with Craig. I don't know. Gibbs has joined us. Paul Mathewson's with us again. Simon's with us nice and early. Barry's with us. Oh my goodness. John Masado's with us. Zach's with us. William. Bill's with us. I said Barry, didn't I? Gibster's already tipping us $1.99. Thanks very much, brother. I really appreciate it. He believes in Joe Hendry. Dead Punk Gage is with us already. So, oh my God, this is crazy. It's like, I don't know. It's like the start of Joe Hendry show or something. I don't know. Oh,
I believe in Joe Hendry.
Yes. And of course, the crowd go wild for the man. But there you go. Yeah, so according to Simon, John Cena's actually here, but we just can't see him. So he's actually a fan of the show. He's checking everything out, which is cool. All right then, boys, let's get cracking into the show. It's nice to see Bill in the house. Actually, apparently he believes in TNI-UK, which is good. One of the OGs over there, right? Zach believes as well, which is good. I mean, do we have to every time someone in the chat mentions it? Do we have to do it? I don't know.
Yes.
I don't.
Okay. Yes.
Just see how everyone's tolerance level is and see who flips out first.
Tolerance for what, Joe? What are you on about?
I believe in Joe Hendry.
We all believe, baby. We all believe. And Zach believes. I mean, everyone is believing right now. Look, even doing the claps, Paul. Nice. Paul's loving it. Right, okay. It's very, very important that we add in the. You've got to do the clap every time, right? You've got to do it. It's important.
Joe Hendry's got clap.
He's got the clap. Anyway, right. Okay, so anyway, talking about Joe Hendry, there were obviously we had a food fight this week where he's talking about his TNA and NXT recap. I think I didn't watch it, but I'm assuming it's from the previous one where he sort of made the appearance where he got knocked out of the that fight thing. I haven't seen it, so I would imagine that's what it is. So, has anybody seen this week's food fight?
No, I think it's only on the TNA app. I've not seen any of his stuff. That any of the new food fights that come up on YouTube,
Okay.
and I'm on the cheapest subscription service that I can get.
Mm-hmm.
So I get weekly television and everything. That's it.
Okay, all right, no worries. Oh, look who's just joined us.
Yes.
Jay Bones in the house. Wow. Oh my God, it's like a TNI reunion. Right. Okay. NXT news. The Rascalz reunion. Let's talk about that first. The Rascalz reunion last night on NXT, or NXTNA as everyone likes to call it now. Chants of TNA roared through the TNXT zone. I thought it was a really cool moment, actually. I thought it was good to see Zach especially get his ass back on NXT, where obviously he was booted out through malicious rumors or whatever. Yeah. Whether it was true, whether it wasn't true, we're never going to know.
A bitter X, I think.
I think it was a bitter eggs too. But to be fair, we've had Kimber on the show though, and I'm not going to lie. She comes across as quite a nice person, and she's sort of kind of like, well, my truth is my truth, and you either believe me or you don't. As simple as that, So
I believe in Joe Hendry.
Me too. He also made a massive appearance and won and pinned somebody.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
I believe he pinned one of the NXT talents. So anyway, so at least we're not in the realms of none of our none of the NXT
we're not in what Tony Khan did to Deonna Purrazzo. Basically, every time she came on, she lost.
Yeah, every time, like ridiculous. The only reason she's gone there is for money. I'm telling you. Anyway, right. So,
do you reckon she'll come back?
I'd love it if she did. I'd love it.
I hope so.
That's it there. Sean Spears. That's right. So Joe Hendry pinned Sean Spears last night on NXT, which I thought was absolutely fantastic to obviously get the win for his team, where he was teaming with, was it Trick Williams? Is that right?
Yes.
Yes. Which I thought was really good. And I mean, Gibbs was saying it was good to see the Rascalz back together. They are in a match next week on NXT. Yeah, they got a match next week, which is good.
Brilliant.
Yeah, so
I'll be tuning into that.
There you go. Look, it's sad that nobody recognizes the Rascalz or Joe Hendry. As we all know, nobody watches TNA. Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry, but like
TNA.
the actual I thought the NXT zone absolutely went wild, and the chants of TNA was just like loud as anything. It's probably the I'm sorry, but the pops for the TNA people was the biggest pops of that I've ever heard on I don't know how many are in the crowd. How many are there, do you think?
A 1,000 at least.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's got to be about 2,500, something like that, isn't it?
What do you reckon? I'd say that I'd be surprised if it was even 1,000. I reckon it's more close to about 800. But I'm sure some of our fantastic TNI tribe will give us some stats on how many people go to the NXT zone. on a Tuesday night. But either way, I think it was good stuff. So Dub Punk staying it. To be honest, I'm not much of an NXT fan, but I have been watching since the Battle Royale back in June, and it's been interesting to watch a lot of untapped talent within that company. There certainly is. I think it's some great talent in that company. Now, the team that the Rascalz are facing next week, I don't know what they're called, but they're clearly Scottish, and I got no idea who they are. Absolutely none. So if anyone can enlighten me on who the Scottish team that they're facing next week is, I'm not sure. Is it MXK or is it the Rascalz? Is it a 3-on-3 or is it a 2-on-2? Because I did see the backstage promo as well. Gallius, is that what they're called? Is it?
Yeah.
I have no idea what that means, but there you go. Now, Mir, you say that the NXT crowds are way louder than the Impact Zone. Is that because it's in a studio, though? Because it is in a studio, right? Which has got...
I've got to be honest, with what Mir says there, we know that there's proof out there of how they have the crowd on loop over the top. Yeah. So you could have a silent crowd and you get that, do you know what I mean, the whole time? Yeah. So we can't deny that. So it depends. Plus, you got to think, how many microphones does Impact have? When I went to Bound for Glory in 2018, they had 7. So they had a couple under the ring and around the ring. Whereas last time I saw a setup for WWE, something it was around 25, 30. Do you know what I mean? And they've got sound effects and things that make the pops and the bangs. So it's up to you how you look into it. Yeah,
there's a lot. At the end of the day, they are proper mic in the crowd, aren't they? To get as much. Yeah. I mean, saying it's in. I appreciate it's in the Performance Center, but the Performance Center itself is kind of like a very compact studio type environment, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. I don't think there's no way there's more than 1,000 people in there.
No, that's fair. No, you say that.
I don't believe that. And
I believe in Joe Hendry.
I do too. Absolutely. We all believe in Joe Hendry.
We believe indeed.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
I believe in waiting for clips is just...
Yeah, I know.
I believe in waiting for clips. I said to Jay before we went live, you need it at hand, ready to go.
Oh, I've got it at hand. Just the response time from clicking on it for it to actually going, and then the delay in the internet connection, and then I'm also looking at the comments as well. So I'm switching between that.
I reckon you should rebel, Joe, and just out of fury at me and Jason for suggesting it, just drop it in at completely random times in conversation. It's got nothing to do with it. Just troll us with the Joe Hendry.
Yeah, man. I believe in what Gibbster's saying. I think NXT just have better production, so it sounds better on TV.
Oh, yeah.
I think that is probably more like it. Like we just said, there's probably way more microphones. They base it up, and you know what I mean. Yeah. I think that's what it is. Disco Inferno probably said it best. AEW makes sports, and WWE makes television. I agree.
Yes.
Crowd on Impact were great last week.
Oh, last week you almost felt the windows bloody shaking. The crowd were that loud last week. It was insane. And
anyone those crowds are hot. They were hot. I cannot wait for the Montreal crowd. That's going to be insane.
They're always good.
That Montreal crowd is going to be absolutely insane. So I really hope that they go all out for production for that pay-per-view. I'll tell you that now. To really, because I think that's what they're doing. I think they want to put them in a bigger building. They want to see what they can do.
Yeah, they want to. They're testing their skills even on a bit more large scale now.
I think you might be right, mate. I think you might be right. Right. Okay. Sorry, my computer's going crap.
That's great.
Right, Jackson Stone match versus Gujan Xplosion. Now we'll talk about it proper in a minute, but. Great to see Jackson Stone back, and he looked jacked, man. He's still carrying a bit of timber around the waist, but man, does that dude look jacked? His upper body is insane. What were your thoughts on this? Because I thought Gujar looked great as well, and I loved Jackson's character in the ring. He was shouting at him. Yeah, Shogun was shouting at him and everything. I thought it was a really good to see him back. What do you think?
Shogun's looking incredible. It's the first time I've seen him in a while, and he's looking absolutely amazing. And same with Guja. And I think I said it to you guys last night. After watching the match, can we have Khan out and put Shogun in his place? Because him not being used yet in TNA, and him looking like he is now, is a missed opportunity. I think a really, really big missed opportunity. They want a big bad man in TNA and bring Shogun into the main roster.
Yeah, I agree. And I'll tell you what, I mean, when it comes to Xplosion now, I think they're using it properly. This is exactly what it should be. It should be guys like Jackson Stone taking on Gujar, taking on, who's the other guy who's recently got a bit more jacked and everything. He's really getting himself in shape. Is it Jack Price? People like that. We need to see these guys. We need to see up-and-coming talents on Xplosion. That's exactly what it's for. You could put them in against a main roster person, but, this is what we want to see. These are the guys we want to see. So, well done. Kudos to TNA for that. Now, matches so far for Slammiversary. We've got the 6-way world title main event, which is Moose, Alexander, Kaz, Nic Nemeth, Steve Macklin, of course, versus Joe Hendry. That's going to be an absolute corker of a match. I'm sorry, but you really have got, a star-studded TNA match there. I mean, I did put it out there on the socials the other day that, when you look at that main event, it's only Nic Nemeth that isn't actually an official signed member of the roster now, because obviously with Steve now fully re-signed, Kaz is signed, Josh is signed, Moose is signed, and Joe is signed. It's only Nic Nemeth now that isn't a fully fledged signed member of the TNA roster, isn't it? So that says a massive thing that they've got enough people like that at hand to create a proper decent main event with top stars. Yeah, definitely. I think it's great. I really do. Then we've also got Mustafa Ali versus Bailey, Speedball Mike Bailey set up. We've got PCO versus AJ Francis. Of course, we've got Jordynne Grace versus Ash by Elegance. And of course, just announced this week, we've got the Knockouts tag match, Militia versus Spitfire, which is great. I mean, I'm hoping that's on the main show. I really am. I hope it is too. I don't want to see that on the countdown show again. Although it wouldn't surprise me, because I'm assuming that the Countstar show is going to be an hour again, like it was for Rebellion. Yeah. It would make sense if it was an hour, yeah. But otherwise, I would rather see the Knockouts tag team match in the main show, the first or second match in. Yeah, definitely. 5-way elimination match, depending on Nic Nemeth is even in the match. I've seen a couple of people say that. What, just because he was knocked out on some stairs? I don't know. Maybe if he becomes a 5-man, or someone else ends up in there by default, which is interesting. Maybe someone else is going to end up in there. Yeah, someone's going to end up in there because Santino Morella said it's going to be a 6-man match, so it's going to be a 6-man match. So we could get, if Jeff Hardy's free, he could go in there. Someone from NXT could go in there. Santana could probably find a way back in there. Yeah, but I'm assuming Nic Nemeth is going to be ready to go by the end, by Slammiversary. I'm sure he is. Till then, I'm sure he is. It's building up. It's building up the two biggest favorites now will be Joe Hendry and Nic Nemeth to be the next world champion. Exactly. Will TNA rejoin NWA? You're kidding me? Yeah, they're well below us. Well below us. No, I can't see that happening, to be honest. Punk Gage, not after what Billy Corgan did last time. No, I'm not up for that. Dead Punk Gage, TNA needs to reach out to Shelton Benjamin. He's already said he wanted to work there, so that would be good. I would like to see that. Bring him in. Here's hoping for AJ Styles' appearance. That would be quite cool. I'm just checking out what some of you guys are saying in the chat. I think it's just to write Nemeth off TV for a few weeks. Yeah, I agree. Jordynne Grace that did come up actually, Ivan. You're right. Jordynne Grace contract is up in January. Will she stay at TNA or go elsewhere?
Nah, she's gone.
She's gone, mate. She's probably already been offered what she's going to get. But you know, it's a shame. If she goes, she goes. But I think, you know, if TNA need to literally say, look, you know, this is the very best we can offer you. Give her the opportunity to stay if she really, really wants to. It wouldn't surprise me.
I don't think she's got any unfinished business in TNA, though. She's done everything. She's absolutely smashed being a knockout. Do you know what I mean? She's basically what every knockout would aspire to be. She can't do anything else. You know, she's
exactly
all the boxes. So she
and
goes
to be fair,
her head held high.
To be fair, by then Kylan King should be back, and I hope so. And you know, Killer Kelly, we'll have her back by then.
Oh hell yeah! I mean, yes, that would be nice.
Yeah, that would be lovely. So yeah, lots of stuff like that. I saw her posted a picture of her in Masha earlier. And I'm like, man, we so need MK Ultra.
I've got many pictures of her in Masha. Don't worry.
Yeah, I bet you have. Right, okay. So yeah, I think everything's looking really good. You know, I mean, maybe we're going to see a Spitfire retain, and then Masha's going to tell Alicia to go fuck herself, and Killer Kelly's going to turn up. Maybe, I don't know. That would be really cool. Okay, so now it's already been mentioned in the chat. Actually, though, Slammiversary week kicks off July 14th in Montreal Alliance basketball game at the Verdun Auditorium. PCO and Speedball will be at the game. So apparently there's some signing opportunities, and they're going to be promoting obviously the following week's Slammiversary show. We've got July 15th is the unofficial unveiling ceremony of the Welcome TNA Wrestling banner. Apparently, it's going to be it's going to be hung over Wellington Street. Apparently, now I'm assuming Wellington Street is a you know, one of the main streets in Montreal, which would be really cool. Also on July 15th, we're going to have the tasting of the TNA Slamming Spicy Pretzel, and a meet and greet. Montreal's favorite wrestler, PCO, gets the honor to taste test the TNA Slamming Spicy Pretzel, a first ever for TNA Wrestling, which is interesting. So not only did we have the PCO burger, but we're also going to have the Slamming Spicy Pretzel. They're definitely going for it. They're going to sell a shitload of those, I'll tell you. Anyway, then we've got July 16th and 17th. PCO and Speedball, Mike Bailey are doing the media tour. And then July 18th, we've got the press conference inside the Verdun Auditorium. PCO, Josh Matthews, Joe Hendry, Jordynne Grace, Speedball, Mike Bailey, AJ Francis in the press conference, which will be hosted in English and French, respectively, by Josh Matthews and Kevin Raphael of TVA Sports. I'll be French,
Josh Matthews, wow. There's a name I've not heard in a long while.
Yeah, exactly. There's an opportunity for AJ Francis and PCO to kick stuff off, right?
Yeah, that's definitely going to be some.
That's going to be
there.
That's definitely a not to miss press conference. That one.
Someone's going through a table.
Exactly.
Even if it's Josh Matthews, someone's just going through a table.
Oh mate,
can you imagine?
It's going to be absolutely crazy. I think it's going to be mental, and everyone's going to be, "He's not human. He's not human." Yeah, it's going to be loads of that shit going on, or whatever that is in French. I think it's going to be, I just can't believe it. Gibster, I would like to tell you it is true, but I can't right now. So there you go. Read into that what you will. July 21st, of course, we've got July 20th, obviously Slammiversary. July 21st, we're going to have obviously the TV tapings. Directly after that, you're going to have the TNA. I think they call it Sign Fest or Fan Fest event after the tapings. Apparently, it's going to be 25 to 30 TNA stars in attendance. You can go and order your stuff now already. You're signing stuff, which is going to be great. I think it's going to be, it's going to be a hell of a week for TNA, and you've got to admit, right, when we've spent years and years moaning about their promotion and about them, getting out into the community and pushing and selling those tickets. They've certainly done it over the last couple of months. Am I right?
Definitely. It's it's just all the cogs have finally come into place, basically, and now it's a well-oiled machine.
I think it's happening. I think now they're getting their street teams in place. They're looking at I love the way what they've done with Montreal. I love the way that they've basically embraced PCO as their promoter there. And what a great idea to do that. I mean, what you should be doing that, really. Get your main stars from whatever areas you're in out there promoting the show.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think it works. I think clearly it works. I mean, the place is nearly sold out. It's going to be over 4,000 people in there. There is, without doubt. I think we're looking at probably 4,000 plus for Slammiversary.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to be looking at probably 2,500, 3,000 for the TV tapings, which either way, fantastic. I mean, over the 2 nights, you're talking, 6,500 fans, aren't you? That's impressive. Is that not impressive?
It is.
It's
it's great to see, the shift in how many fans are interested as well. And the people that actually want to go out there and go to the shows. It's just it's a great time to be a TNA fan, and the fact that we've got real bums on seats is just it's an amazing time for us.
I think so, mate.
You could say we believe.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
You can say for sure that all of us faithful TNA fans, Impact fans, whatever you want to call it, for the past 10 years since it's all gone to shit, since it all went to shit and has sort of gradually been rebuilding. I think we're starting to get back to where in fact, I think we're going to go beyond where we were previously. I'm liking the idea of going back into, I mean, there is rumors that they're looking to have TNA tape or go live every Thursday at a single location. I know there's a couple of different venues have been mentioned. There's a rumor going around at the moment. I don't know if anyone's heard this one, but the rumor is that it might actually be in the NXT zone.
I've heard rumors that they were planning to go back to the place in Florida as well.
Well, there's that one, but the latest one I've heard, it's not been loads of stuff out there, but I've heard a couple of people saying it that I know, that there is a possibility now that we might see the Thursday night tapings take part actually at the Performance Center. In that exact same venue as NXT, so which means they use that setup, as well.
That's fantastic.
Which would be interesting because obviously, but I have a funny feeling it will be Full Sail University. I'm not going to lie, I think that's where it's going to be, but we'll see. Okay, so loads of great stuff going on towards Slammiversary. I mean, very exciting stuff. Obviously, we've got the NXT stuff going on as well. So more people are starting to find out about TNA and are starting to get eyes on the show as well, which is good. More people are getting excited about buying tickets, going to the shows. I think it's an exciting time right now to be a TNA fan, that's for sure. Now, Gia Miller was out in Philly taking pictures of TNA stars to celebrate July 4th, featuring obviously the TNA, and that's featured on TNAWrestling.com.
Yeah,
go and check those out. Some nice pictures there. So I think she was the one taking the photos. Looks like it to me, but pretty good stuff. But we were talking about it just now. Let's talk about Xplosion. Oh, I know what we're talking about first, quickly. It looks very likely, extremely likely, that the Motor City Machine Guns have been signed by WWE. I think I'd be disappointed if they turned up on NXT, and I'm not going to lie. I think they've done enough time now that they deserve, and that they're well known. They deserve to turn up. I think on Raw or SmackDown or something. I think the crowd would go nuts if they turn up.
The crowd's gonna go mad if they see them anywhere. But I said to you before we went on air that of all the places they could go now, WWE is the best place for him to go. Triple H and Shawn Michaels are like tag team veterans. They know how to book tag team wrestling. They have a hell of a lot of respect for Sabin and Shelley as well, and vice versa.
I would say Shelley, especially based on the fact they used to be a producer there, didn't he?
Yeah.
He's got big links with Kevin Nash as well. To be fair.
Yeah, there's huge links there.
Yeah, and I just didn't see the Motor City Machine Guns going to AEW as much as everyone speculated it. I didn't see it happening. I could have seen them go there to do 1 or 2 matches just on the fly. If they were touring the independent circuit still, but never not to sign a full contract. Looks like they might be doing with WWE. So. And I think it's a great opportunity for the whichever brand they go to, for the entire company itself, to get veterans like them on. They got veterans like Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson who aren't doing much at the moment. So
didn't the Good Brothers lose to some green team or something the other day? I heard. I saw somewhat.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I think they're jobbing now. I think they're now jobbing in WWE, but I'm not sure. But yeah, no, totally get what you're saying. I think that's incredible news for them, and even if they did turn up, it'd be cool. But I just think it'd be wasted opportunity. I honestly believe if you debuted them on Raw or SmackDown, the crowd would go nuts. I do, just like they did for Jordynne Grace when she turned up at the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, that's still one of the loudest pops, and then Joe Hendry beat it.
Just insane,
twice.
But I mean, it's just crazy, absolutely crazy. But
I just really want Shelley to go into WWE and turn "yup" into a massive catchphrase.
Yeah,
so where we've got we had yes, and we had like what and stuff like that. We just really need Shelley to be like "yup."
Yeah, you could say that.
I was just saying it'd be a great way to piss off Steve Austin.
Yeah. And that's interesting. Yeah, exactly. Dead Punk Gage is saying, of course, they've also got Road Dogg, Borash, Abyss, and a bunch of other, working behind the scenes at WWE. So I think it's great. I think it's brilliant. Hang on, they were filming something from NXT at Full Sail University. Okay, cool. TK books great tag teams into dirt. Look at that. Look at the decline of FTR. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
very true.
Hello, Courtney.
Good to see Mrs. Nemeth in the house. Right, okay, let's talk about Xplosion. And we already sort of kind of hit on it. Gujjar picks up a victory against Jackson Stone. It was a great match, which Shogun is looking great shape. We talked about that. We then had Gia Miller go around the ring with Judas Icarus from Sinner and Saint, which was interesting stuff. We had ABC defeating Sinner and Saint in the Xplosion main event, but that was a hell of a match.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Insane match. Wow, that's all I got to say. So if you haven't watched it so far, Xplosion so far, just the match at the top of the show was great. We had the turnbuckle gargoyle or whatever it is.
Yeah, gargoyle spear.
That's it, to win that one. The gargoyle spear. That's it, to win that match. And then we've got and we had this was an incredible main event. So if you haven't watched it, you need to go and check it out because it's really good. Ivan saying that here is something I thought, fellas. TNA should sign on at the Fatu family member of Incorporate the Bloodline story in their platform. Maybe. LimpstarUK, Shane could put up like 35 million for TNA. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but Shane got the money to do it. Yeah, but does anybody want that to happen? No, nobody wants that to happen.
They fired Scott Moore for basically trying something like that. So,
like, honestly, I've just literally yesterday finished watching Who Killed WCW, and I can just see that happening again. They would just kill it into the ground. They would use this as just like something to tick over and stuff like that. I've described this method to my friend as just like, you've got NXT, which, as we've said in the chat, is a developmental, We've got people who, dare I say it, you know, it's going to sound bad, but we've got people who come to TNA as potential nobodies, and they end up walking out the door as somebodies. So the people that we've got going into NXT are huge to us. Whereas we've got people coming to TNA, and I don't mean for it to sound bad, but we had that girl turn up, didn't get that much of a pop, did win us over. We had that guy turn up last week, who some people were like, who the hell is that? You know what I mean? So it's like, they're not established. And then we got Joe Hendry going on NXT and taking over their ratings. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so it's like,
I agree.
It's the way it goes. So I think like TNA would be stupid to sell right now. If anyone's going to buy it, then I want Triple H and Shawn Michaels to dip their hand in the pocket because they know what's going on.
Yeah. I think it's interesting. You say that about Charlie Dempsey. Now, I wasn't sure he was, right? However, there is a big storyline with Charlie Dempsey going on, isn't there, in NXT involving his old man and stuff. So
he took out Wesley a couple of weeks ago with two other guys as well, and that's when Zachary reached out to everyone, to him, and said, "If you want us to come over, just give us a shout, and we'll be there." Yeah. So what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, a lot of the guys on NXT aren't well known, are they? They're not raw talent, raw main roster talents. They're not. But they are good. They're very good talents, and some of those talents have actually been on TNA or Impact, as we know. Now, and I thought Charlie Dempsey did get quite a pop, to be honest. Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, people do know. Go on.
So let's say Matthew Raywald and Tom Hannon went nuts because they knew who he is, and that really added a lot too. If people like me didn't have a clue who he was.
I wasn't sure who he was until somebody said he's the son of William Regal. Then I went and sort of kind of looked it up a little bit, and I realised that actually Charlie Dempsey's quite a big deal in NXT. So, you know, he's a good guy for them to be bringing in. And
don't get me wrong, he wiped the floor with our guys. He came in. The guy knows where to put his feet in the ring. Do you know what I mean? He's not someone that you'd want to meet. And, you know, the fact that it wound up Wentz so much, that's one of the best promos I've ever seen from Wentz. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, don't come into our yard and do that. I was just like, hell yeah. And then I only I went onto my Facebook this morning. I'd just seen someone had put like a screen grab of the Rascalz with TNA on the name name bar and that in NXT, and I was just like, what is this relationship? I couldn't be. It's weird. Like you go to a show a few weeks ago, and I said to you guys, I was like, oh, you know, I don't want nothing to do with WWE, and then like now I'm kind of like, whatever this relationship is, I'm all for it because it's benefiting both sides. It's benefiting future stars of NXT and WWE. It's benefiting our current stars. Who's the loser here? Out of us two, you know, Tony must be pulling his curly hair out.
I mean, you know, somebody said on put some stuff up the other day. You know, one of the adverts where they had all the sort of like kind of there was like a load of stars stood behind him in that Tony Schiavone bloke, and they're literally just ripping the shit out of TNA or Impact at the time. Do you remember that one? And you watch that, and you're like, okay.
Who's laughing now?
Yeah, who's laughing now? You fucking pricks. This is exactly how a working relationship works. We've got storylines crossing over the two shows, right? Yeah. And that's what we've got. So what's happening now is you're going to find that the NXT guys are going to start watching TNA if they're not already, and the TNA people that aren't watching NXT are going to start watching NXT.
Yeah,
everyone's a winner. Everyone's a winner. It'd be cool to see Ethan Page versus Josh Alexander. Maybe. I think it would be brilliant. It would be absolutely brilliant. It was a match we never got when before Ethan Page left. We never really got that. That was how it was meant to be written off of TNA at the time as well. Was Josh Alexander beats him and he then goes his separate ways that way. But then when you know where the trouble is, though, knowing Ethan Page and, of course, his big ego, you know, he's going to be like, well, hang on a minute. I'm WWE side. I ain't losing. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure Shawn Michaels has made him put on his big boy pants now. Well, let's hope. Let's hope so, because he needs to do something because he's an idiot. Paul Matthewson saying, who would like a joint pay-per-view? I think that would be really cool. You know, and again, all you got to do is book a 50-50, you know, talent, victory or whatever. So, if you've got 10 matches, you get 5 wins for the TNA guys, and you get 5 wins for the NXT guys or whatever. Everyone's happy. And again, none of that needs to be title matches, or if it is, you could do multi-man stuff. There's loads of ways of getting around it.
Are we going to get one of them weird matches again, like they did with when we had that abysmal partnership with AEW, where they have 2 refs, one of theirs and one of ours?
Oh mate, that was ridiculous, wasn't
it?
Yeah, that was ridiculous. That really was. But yeah, there's all that, and of course, what the other thing you can do on one of these events is you don't necessarily have to have an NXT talent facing a TNA talent. I mean, you could still have an NXT match. You could have a TNA match. You know what I mean? Like just showcasing what they can all do on a given night. And we could prove that we've got some of the best wrestlers in the world. But let's talk about Impact. Trey Miguel versus Leon Slater. Now, it ends in a no contest after an incredible high-flying, high-impact match. But it gets busted up by NXT, of course, the son of William Regal. We were just talking about him, Charlie Dempsey, leaving chaos in his wake. He even attacked the referee. So, great storytelling. I thought, obviously we knew Charlie was coming in, but I didn't know when. I just, so to me, it was a shock that he suddenly turned up at the start of Impact, if you think about it. Great match. Leon Slater was awesome. And actually, I didn't realize, I knew Leon was a decent size because he's quite a big for a high flyer. He's actually quite tall and quite big. Yeah. But he was like towering above Trey Miguel.
He is really tall.
He is proper tall, and he was literally throwing Trey around like a fucking ragdoll at some point.
Yeah.
But this was a really, really good match. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was cool to leave it as one of those that nobody wins. No contest. And of course, we got the Charlie Dempsey debut with all that stuff going on as well. What did you think of this one? Let's go with Craig.
Honestly, every other week, I had a bit of a whinge the other week saying that show was poor because we had the debut of Jeff Hardy and then there was nothing on the following show. I just thought it was a bit of a dead show. And then along comes this one, and we've just had pay-per-view quality shows and pay-per-view quality matches on just our regular show. So it's for these people wwho are going, do you know what? I am an NXT fan. Let's see what this TNA is about. If they send a match like that, they're going to be like, what have I been missing? Do you know what I mean? Leon Slater, obviously from our home soil and stuff like that. So we're always going to back him. But going up against Trey Miguel, who we know can go with the best of them. There was a move, I can't remember the move, but it was when Leon kind of caught Trey and I thought he's going to break his neck. He
I know.
Mid-air. I thought he was going to cut his head off.
Yeah.
I was just what's going on? But what you got to remember is these guys train together. These guys know each other and stuff like that. But as a spectacle, yet again, TNA is putting on a match where it's making me go, wow. Do you know what I mean? And that's me and Joe, we're on that basic subscription. We're on the lowest of the low. And we're just getting Impact. Do you know what I mean? And we're getting, massive money. We're getting, massive value for our money because of these sort of levels of the matches that we're seeing. It's absolutely nuts.
I agree. Really, really good match. And that one that you're talking about is fantastic.
Dead Punk just mentioned it now. It's the merry-go-round cutter.
Yeah. It's insane. Absolutely insane. Okay, Gia Miller interviews Matt and Rebecca Hardy about their upcoming match against Eddie and Alicia Edwards. That was interesting. Yes. The Rascalz are furious and call out Charlie Dempsey for next week's TNA Impact. So that happens obviously backstage as well. We then get Danny Luna versus Jody Threat in that 10-minute challenge. Now, during this match, that was pretty evenly matched as well. The cameras suddenly reveal backstage that Nic Nemeth is laid out at the bottom of the stairs. Which is what we're talking about if he even gets to Slammiversary comments. But we then go back in the ring. Then the action continues to the 10-minute mark. Now, the great match. I mean, the two of them were fantastic to the extent that obviously Daniel Spencer obviously declares the match is a draw, but we then get the chance of 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes. And of course, the ref gives the match an extra 5 minutes. And then Militia charged the ring and blindside Spitfire. And that was the end of that. But what a great 10, sort of 11 minutes we had. And just goes to show how evenly matched the two of them are, isn't it?
Yeah. It's incredible match. I'm honestly a bit lost for words as to how good both Danny Luna and Jody Threat are. It was one of those matches you have to sit and watch and enjoy, and then sit and watch it again because they're just so damn good.
Oh yeah, this is a match you have to watch twice. Can I just say a quick hello to Terence, who's popped in the chat? Nice to see you, buddy. Thank you for joining.
Hello.
But we then go to Santino, who is on the phone, where Mustafa Ali bursts in, trying to retract his challenge to Mike Bailey for Slammiversary. He argues Bailey needs to earn a shot at the X Division Championship. Santino then decides Bailey will have a number 1 contenders match next week on TNA Impact. Now, which is turned into a 3-way, isn't it? So it's
yeah.
We'll talk about it in a second, but I believe it's been set up to be Kushida, Gresham, and obviously Mike Bailey.
Yeah.
That'd be a hell of a match.
That's going to be great. I mean, obviously Mike Bailey's going to win because at the end of the day, Mike Bailey's got to win the X Division title at Slammiversary in front of his hometown crowd, doesn't he?
Yeah, or else the crowd's going to riot.
Yeah, yeah, we riot if Bailey don't win, I'm sure. So that's that feel-good moment for the homecoming star, So we know that's going to happen. Mike Santana versus Kazarian Road to Slammiversary match was outstanding. Mike Santana is so good. And of course, you stick him in with a ring general veteran like Kazarian, and you're going to get a great match. And I thought this match was great. But as Santana was about to get the win, Dango interferes, pushing Santana into the corner post, causing him to bleed, and eventually get counted out. Kaz enters the main event six-way at Slammiversary because of it. What were your thoughts on this?
I honestly thought Dango would have taken out Nic Nemeth. So when I saw him come out to take out Santana, that was like a huge curveball for me instantly, because I was like, wow. And I honestly did think that when Santana had come back, he would be the one going to, but he'd be one of the guys in this 6-man match. And although Kazarian was like one of the guys I had pitched to go and take the title off of Moose, way back in January, it was like Kazarian would beat Moose, and then Macklin and Kazarian would finish the rivalry that way. But since Santana came in, it's like a huge curveball of where Kazarian and Macklin are going, and that now it's almost like at the moment the three of the guys I predicted to be next world champion are in the match at Slammiversary.
I thought it would have been playing it too safe to put Santana in that mix.
Yeah,
I thought he's definitely got a match at Slammiversary. Do you know what I mean? But it's just like putting him in that match. I think we need kind of, for Santana's sake as well, with the solo wrestler coming to TNA and stuff like that, with him doing his solo thing, I think Santana needs a story. We need a road for Santana to get there. I think him winning and going through the competition, it would kind of like not sell Santana in the way that I think, well, not necessarily the way he wants to be, because I don't speak for Santana. Only Santana speaks for Santana. But I just honestly, I think that he's got the potential to be that guy who used to be in LAX and he's come back to TNA and he just absolutely just defeats everyone. He's great. Do you know what I mean? And like, I'm sad that he lost. I did call it out last week and say Kaz would win. Yeah. Because it's the king of TNA. He's the dirtiest player in the game in TNA. Do you know what I mean? And Kaz has got so much history with us. I think Kaz, he deserves to be there, but the way he got there is just classic Kaz.
Yeah, I agree. And the beauty of this one, I think, is that you've got the guy in there that's probably going to get pinned now. without making the younger guys look weak, if you know what I mean. So I'd hate it if Macklin. I don't want Macklin to get pinned 100%. I don't want Macklin getting pinned.
It's an elimination match, so someone's got to get pinned at some point. But
I forgot that. I still think it'll end up with Joe Hendry, I think, versus Moose. Moose will get the win, and then we will get Moose in London, I think. We'll get Joe Hendry win in London. Bound for glory. Yeah. If it goes to London, then Joe Hendry, I think, will be in the world title match there, and then he'll win in the UK.
Who's NXT champion?
Ethan Page.
Is he?
Yeah.
He's really? When did he win?
Yeah. The other night, I think.
Are you kidding me?
No.
I missed that one. He turns up.
Yeah, I think everyone missed it, mate. Don't worry about it. It's only Ethan Page. Do you know what I mean?
God, bloody hell! I don't get it.
I mean, we're gonna. I can see. Well, I reckon Joe Hendry's going to get this title, and it's going to be Joe Hendry versus Ethan Page, title versus title.
Oh man, really?
And then when you get Joe Hendry victorious with both titles, he turns up on SmackDown and challenges Kofi Kingston to a dance-off.
A dance-off.
I didn't want to predict the future and everyone be like, oh my god, I wanted to kind of be like, let's put a twist on it. And then Joe Hendry becomes the 24/7 champion. Is that still a thing? I don't know.
No. Thankfully, no.
Have they got rid of that? Have they?
Yeah. I think I should let it dry.
Spud. Where's Rockstar Spud?
After Rockstar Spud was smashing it every. Yeah, I know what you're saying. I can't believe that they see. Now, here's the thing, right? Now, if Santana had come in and won the title, or if Nic Nemeth had come in and just won the title straight off the bat, right? We would have got loads of shit for that. So basically, Ethan Page comes in, and 2 weeks later, he's the NXT champion.
Yeah.
Mate. And nobody's batting an eyelid.
No one really cares about Ethan Page.
That's crazy. That is insane, mate. Honestly, that's terrible booking. I'm not up for that at all. Hate it. But anyway, so I'm agreeing with what a lot of people are saying in the chat about Santana. Let's give this guy a massive build. In fact, I don't even think he needs to be champion until 2025, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Give him a massive build. Maybe give him the match at Hard to Kill. He kicks off Hard to Kill.
Yeah. Build him up like they did with Steve Macklin, basically. And then because I bet them two, I can see having a rivalry like Eddie Edwards and Sami Callihan.
Yeah,
they're destined to fight each other for as long as they're both in the company, back and forth at some point. They're going to lock at horns again. So that's going to be the next big rivalry in TNA.
Yeah, and I like that, Dead Punk. You're right. Joe Hendry versus Moose in the UK makes more sense considering the Scottish audience are already pissed off about Drew losing. Excellent. That would be perfect.
Just get Joe Hendry versus Drew. Come on.
Have some of that.
I'm Drew. Dabba-dee-dabba-die.
Yeah. Anyway, we head backstage and we find that Dr. Ross is really anxious, trying to seek out an update on PCO and, of course, Steph DeLander. That was interesting. All you can hear in the background was, that was cool. I enjoyed that. And of course, in PCO language, that was "get out of my fucking way," or probably like I don't know. AJ Francis.
Or he's thinking about Seth DeLander, and
he could be shouting "Francis, Francis." I don't know. We'll see. Hang on. I wonder if Ethan Page got the title so he could lose it to Hendry. Didn't want Golden Boy Trick Williams taking the loss. No, maybe. That's an interesting. I see Hendry beating Moose for the title of BFG in the UK. I agree. Right. AJ Francis talks about his run as digital media champion. Santino interrupts, announcing Francis will defend his title against PCO at Slammiversary. So that was. Again, we're getting some more backstage moments, which is good. Forwarded stories, creating matches. Matt and Rebby Hardy versus Alicia and Eddie Edwards. The chance of Queen Rebecca fill the Impact Zone. as Alicia retreats from her after a fun match. I wasn't going to say I thought it was a good, solid match. To be fair, it wasn't a great match. Wonderful match. Anyway, Team Hardy defeats Team Edwards, and like I said, it was a fun match. There was lots of cool spots.
Yeah.
Obviously, most of it was Eddie and Matt. But overall, I thought it was a good, fun match. I enjoyed watching it. And it was quite cool to see Rebby Hardy in the ring again, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think of this one?
It's lovely to see her anytime.
I thought you were going to say that. And her big bottom. What are your thoughts, Joe?
Oh, I enjoyed the match too. I agree with you. It was a good, fun match. So Hardy's got some redemption after Matt splayed his way through a table, and it's always good to see Alicia and Edwards with some even competition.
Right. Okay. Like Eric's saying, Alicia got her karma later in the night. Of course she did. Yeah. But like I say, it was a good, fun match. I enjoyed it. And again, like I said, if anyone thinks that Matt Hardy can't go anymore, there might be things that he's not so good at. He might struggle with his knees a bit, but he can still go. He definitely can still go, just in a slightly different way to where he used to. Then Myers confronts Santino after being ejected. ABC mocks them, and Santino sets a match between ABC and the system for this coming week. Jordynne Grace talks about Ash by Elegance and their upcoming match at Slammiversary. She issues another open challenge for next week on TNA Impact. I must admit, I did hear who it was, but I can't remember now. So there you go. That's how much the spoilers bother me. But again, I think it's a real shame that at the moment what we're doing with Jordynne is all these open challenges, because unless we need, I don't know, unless it's because there's somebody coming back, maybe, because I can't remember who it is. Like, somebody did tell me, but is it going to be someone like Killer Kelly coming back, or is it going to be someone from NXT? I just don't know. But anyway, so we've got that going on. But Jordynne, she plays a good pissed off girl. I like it. We then get Joe Hendry, obviously, versus Jake Something on the road to Slam match. Hendry starts. Match. It was a great match. Hendry starts with a shoulder tackle, but can't budge the monstrous Jake Something. Hendry lifts Jake for a massive stalling suplex. That was cool. Jake quickly recovers, laying out Hendry with a multiple shoulder tackles and a crossbody on the floor. Hendry fires back with chops. That bit was a bit weak. Regaining momentum with a chop block. Jake locks in the headlock and hits the Michinoku driver, but it's not enough to secure a spot at Slammiversary. A huge clothesline fires up Hendry, who avoids Jake's into the void but gets crushed again. Both men collide, exchanging punches, and Hendry lands a standing ovation, securing his spot in the six-way elimination match at Slammiversary.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
I agree, Gibster. Jake Something makes a great heel. I've told you before, he reminds me of the great Bruiser Brody. He should act like Bruiser Brody. Honestly, he reminds me of Bruiser Brody so bad. I honestly think that Jake could be amazing if he just acted like Bruiser Brody. Simple as that.
Well, I think after this match, there is some massive heel turn going to come, because this is like it's another big opportunity that's just been thrown in his face, and he's going to get pissed off and clever someone, probably Dina.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly.
But for me, this match is one of the best matches we've had on TNA since Ospreay versus Alexander 2. This was incredible. One of the best matches of 2024.
Yeah, exactly. I thought it was a really, really good match, and I really enjoyed it. And again, I mean, I'm looking at what. I was just reading what Dead Punk was saying. He's right. Not every match needs to be like a Dave Meltzer 5-star match. Actually, sometimes what makes a star match is the storytelling, as opposed to necessarily the actual wrestling itself. And so I felt that this match I didn't like the chop bit. I didn't like the chopping section. That was kind of a bit shit. So other than that, I thought it was really good. I've been dying to take a chop from someone like Jake Something. I'd love to take a chop from him. Anyway,
next TNA show, we're front row. I'm getting you chopped.
Yeah, all right, buddy. I'd love it. I would. I'd take the shirt off and everything. God, I'd be all over that. I'm like, come on. I'd be like this. I'd be like, come on.
Just before getting hit by someone that high, but it knocks some of the guys even if they're not even if they're not trying not to set it, or not bend back like that. Just thinking, Christ, have I got a blow to the
let's be honest. Like, I think Giselle was going to hit me at one point. When we were at Coventry.
And knock your block off. She was. Yeah. Knock your block off. Anyway, I reckon Gibster should join me on that as well. The next time TNA are in town, boy, you should join us front row and see if we can get Jake Something to chop us. I think that'd be great. But anyway,
a high five will do me. That's fine.
Okay, cool. Anyway, after the main event, we see the system leaving the venue. Moose thanks JDC for taking out Santana and Nemeth. JDC responds, clarifying that he only took out Santana and didn't lay a finger on Nic Nemeth. Nearby, Kazarian, smoking a cigar, smirks and calls them marks. TNA Impact goes off air.
Yeah. But did you hear what he said at the very end?
Who?
Kaz. He calls them marks, and then at the very end, he says, "What are you filming?" He's talking to someone. Yeah. He's like, "Hey, what are you filming? I want to know who that is."
Yeah, maybe. Actually, yeah, you're right. He did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, who's he talking to?
Yeah, so, someone else.
I'm kind of. I feel like I should go on NXT, and it's probably like Rockstar Spud running around with a GoPro or something.
You're a Rockstar Spud. Oh, dearie me. I liked Rockstar Spud. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I miss him.
I've got a signed shirt by him, and I'm ashamed to admit this on YouTube.
Oh, why, man? He was such a good underdog, wasn't he? I tell you what.
Honestly, it's that match where he just stands there and he's just humping the air for like no reason.
He gave King Maxwell his first win in pro wrestling.
He did.
That's how good Rockstar Spud is.
That's what he's all about. But that match, now for me, you saw how good Rockstar Spud was and how big his heart was in that match against EC3.
Yeah, definitely. That was brilliant.
That match was immense. Right, and I don't care what anybody says, that match was fucking brilliant.
And honestly, the whole thing with Spud as well, like, go back to COVID-19 and the pandemic and stuff, when he got sacked and he went on his Twitter and he done that video and stuff like that. That's why, and this is for everyone in the comments and stuff like that. That's why for these past few weeks on these shows and that, I've always got this like level of hatred when it comes to WWE and that, because of the amount of people, they just kind of go, right, we got rid of 40 talents. Look at Trevor Lee recently and stuff like that. To us, we're like, oh, we're not going to see him on a show anymore. To them, that's their livelihood. And some of these guys are in peak physique. They're in their absolute best physique that they ever will be. And now they're shelved. Now they've got to find a new, employer and stuff like that. Then you've got some asshat like bloody Ethan Page sitting on Tony's shelf for ages. And then just going along and like someone said in the comments, he like got knocked out and accidentally became champion. Yeah. And you've got Trevor Lee sat at home. You've got Rockstar Spud sat at home, stuff like that. These guys who fans adore. I'm not saying that people don't like Ethan Page. I'm just saying that I agree with us three. We don't like Ethan Page. He's not welcome here. But it's that kind of thing where they just kind of go, right, there's 30 talents gone. And just like that, gone, deleted. And that's the bit that sits with me and it makes me feel uncomfortable. And I'm like, look, TNA, we do have an open door policy, but when people leave, like look at Crazy Steve recently, he had a great run and now he's gone. But if he comes back, he comes back. We would welcome him.
He's not gone off the roster.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I'm not really sure what's going on there, because I thought like they were also sort of kind of like saying goodbye to him and stuff. But I don't know. I really don't know.
I'd love to see him team up with Gresham.
Yeah,
you would.
That would be one nasty tag team. That would be brilliant.
Yeah,
that'd be.
Maybe Steve could come back as the crazy octopusy.
Shaved Steve.
Killer Kelly could do that too.
Crazy Octopussy.
Yes.
Killer Kelly would be a great Octopussy.
I love her Octopussy. Yes, have to put the Octa in there.
There you go. There you go. So there you go. Mir, the Nemeth on stairs as he wasn't at a last set of tapings. Yeah, so maybe that must have been filmed in Chicago then.
Oh, sorry, Gage makes a good point there. It says Brooks Jensen runs around attacking people. It could be that person that Kaz has seen. And remember that Nemeth was attacked as well. And what's his face? Said that it wasn't him who dealt with Nemeth. So
Johnny Dango Curtis.
That's it. Yeah, whatever his name is now. Almost as bad as Johnny Impact. Johnny
Nitro. Crazy Squid. I like that.
Crazy squid. Yes, squid pussy.
This crazy squid pussy. Now, Killer Kelly could be that. Killer pussy. Killer pussy and crazy squid.
It was great seeing you all, guys. We're going to get cancelled.
Yeah. Oh, dear. Jensen said about 4 times last night about making an impact. Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah. That's dropping hints as well. I say again, that's like intertwining long-term storytelling. So it's just...
And we want to see Killer Kelly's TNA.
We do.
Right,
we do. Anyway, guys, listen, please take the time to share and like today's show. It really does make a big difference to us. Help us to promote TNI and, of course, at the same time, promote TNA to the masses. At the end of the day, if you're a pro wrestling fan, you're welcome here. If you're a TNA fan, you're welcome here. If you're an NXT fan, you're welcome here. But be aware, we are a TNA-based product. So make sure that you share it. We get people interested in TNI. We get people interested in TNA. It's important, guys. So like, share, make sure everybody knows that we are a pro TNA show for all TNA fans. Hang on a second. I love this. We are the undiscovered writers of TNA.
That's me.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
I was saying that Gage and Barry have made some really, really good suggestions. And that, I think if TNA management looked at our chat today from this show, they would see that the fans know what's going on.
Okay.
And, the future of pussy is ours.
The Squid Game. That's an interesting one. Doesn't hide the fact. Okay, so as much as I hate the talent releases, the only thing I will say is that they've got 3 months pay with a no compete clause. It doesn't help their visibility, but at least they can get bookings. There you go. They got 3 months.
Very true. But then, like I said, I watched Who Killed WCW, and when WCW got bought out by WWE, Booker T said that they gave them 90 days where they could just sit on the shelf, or they could get like 50%. Well, no, they were going to give them 50% pay for the remainder of their contracts. And like people like Goldberg and stuff like that had like 3 years left on their contract.
Yeah.
So he's getting like, a year and a half's pay. He didn't have to do nothing. Goldberg just went off the radar. Booker T turned up and, attacked. I can't remember who attacked. Stone Cold Steve Austin was outside. And he got in the ring with The Rock, didn't he? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he still got that money. So what Booker T said, who isn't that much of a fan of Joe Hendry, if you see when he comes out, he tears up the sign and stuff. That was pretty cool.
Oh, he's got no emotion when Joe Hendry came into the video ring. He sounded like he was falling asleep. I was like, for fuck's sake.
He does not like Joe Hendry.
At least bother to try to pretend to show you have some enthusiasm, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, but like with Booker T's words, where I was going with that is Booker T said that if you stop, then you'll seize up, sort of thing. I think he quoted someone like Ric Flair saying it. So where you're saying about like the talents being released and getting that money for 3 months, if they're not active wrestling, then they're just they're gonna lose that momentum. Do you know what I mean? Then we get someone rusty like Bobby Fish turn up.
Bobby Fish,
mate.
He could be
I didn't want to mention it.
He could be part of the Squid Game. He could be part of the Squid Squad.
He could be part of the canteen staff. He's terrible.
Look at that. Paul Matthewson saying, "What about the liquors? Does he mean the Squid lickers? I don't know.
No, it means that the thing might mean the lickers from Resident Evil 2.
Pussy lickers.
The pussy licker.
At least that's what I hope it does, because otherwise we will get less.
The pussy squad. So loads of stuff going on. Yeah, Booker T talks absolute bollocks, so I shouldn't worry about him. Anyway, TNA Impact this Thursday. Jordynne Grace of issues an open challenge. We're looking forward to seeing who that's going to be. Charlie Dempsey versus Zach Wentz. Obviously, we've got that one going on. We've got AJ Francis versus Rhino for the Digital Media Championship title. I have no idea where that one's come from, but hey ho.
Oh, that's because AJ Francis said he's gonna defend his title in every match he's got. So Santino put him in this one as well. Okay. So
did Rhino go fuck off?
No, Rhino didn't say anything, but Santino just said to him, "You're going to have a match this week too, and if you don't do that, then you're not going to go to Slammiversary."
Okay, so he's got Rhino. Okay,
yeah.
I just want to know that as if Rhino goes in for the gore as he hits AJ Francis, he's got to go fuck off. That would be good. Bailey versus Gresham versus Kushida for the X Division #1 contender match. That's going to be
because I'm sick.
Yeah, that's going to be great, that one. And then we've got Chris Bay versus Johnny Dango Curtis, obviously JDC as they're calling him. That's your lineup. That's what we've got so far. I'm a bit surprised that the only women's match is Jordynne Grace Open Challenge, to be honest.
Yeah.
No, that could change. I reckon, given the 10-minute challenge last week and that, I reckon we'll see a tag team match.
Yeah. You think?
Yeah. And we'll see Alicia hit the worst bulldog ever known in wrestling since it began.
Right. Okay. Hang on. The new Anthem CRO, Rob Kligman, was on YouTube channel called Essential Sports, where he talks about the distribution worldwide of TNA. Yeah, he also talks about, I think it was him that talks about that they're looking for, he's working on a new TV deal. But he didn't say that where the TV deal was, and I'm sorry, I'm telling you now, IOZAT is going to go weekly with the weekly show very soon.
Well, yeah, I saw something about that. That's something.
They're doing pay-per-view on their digital, on their on their online thing. They're doing Slammiversary for $15.99 in the UK.
Yeah.
So they're doing that, but now I've seen that means that they're introducing the newer talent, the now TNA, to IOZAT. I'm telling you, it's not going to be very long before we get the announcement that TNA will be returning to Freeview on IOZAT TV. I'm telling you that now. Yeah, that might coincide with BFG.
Yeah, that'd be bloody brilliant if it did. Perfect.
Or
timing.
In the build up to BFG. But there you go. That gives to say, I think AJ Fred's been such a good heel for TNA. I hope he signs a long-term contract with them.
Same. I agree.
I think he's been brilliant, and to be fair, he's been part of the whole Joe Hendry thing. If it wasn't for
time in the business,
if it wasn't for him and his friend Steve, Joe Hendry would.
Exactly.
You are banned from diving.
Yeah, exactly.
I reckon Steve storms in and then just wins the DMC. I reckon Steve's the undiscovered star.
You reckon? Okay.
No, I'm lying. It was a terrible reference.
Okay, good. But anyway, guys, that's pretty much all we've got time for this week. Also, if you want to show your support for TNI UK team, please feel free to super sticker us or head over to prowrestlingtees.com/total-non-stop-impact for some great t-shirts, or head over to our exclusive Spreadshirt merch store. Links are, of course, below. All TNI shows are available to all of you listening on the Go fans as audio only via SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows. Where can we find you on the social media, Joe?
You can follow me on Twitter at JOKEmptyspace. You can jump onto YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter. Look for #EmptySpace, #Into the Void, or fancy to take your taste buds and your sense of humor. #illegal, but approaches no mind, and you just might keep your sanity.
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 I saw your comment in the chat and it made me start laughing.
Sanity. What about yourself, Craig? What about you, buddy?
I am LimpstarUK on SoundCloud. I am LimpstarUK on Facebook. I am LimpstarUK on Instagram. And for whatever reason, I'm Network Stooge on X, because I haven't changed it and I haven't logged into it for a little while. But when I do log into it, if you're following me, I will follow you back on various things. Oh yeah, LimpstarUK on TikTok as well.
Oh yeah, baby. Follow TNI on socials at We Talk Impact, available on every social media at We Talk Impact. So make sure you go and go and give us a follow on all those things. Of course, if you want to find me, I'm at Lord Bison 45. And of course, if you want to find me on TikTok at Bison by Design, go and check me out on there. I've been putting up some new content recently, but I've got to do a load more. So I'm gonna make sure I do some more on that. Stephanie Vacure is no longer with CMLL. Okay, I don't know who that is. Who is she? Go check her out. Did I see her beating? I'm sure I saw her beating Tessa Blanchard in a thing earlier, but never mind. Anyway, guys, listen. Please take the time to help us out moving up the rankings on YouTube by giving us a thumbs up. And if you're new to us and you like what you see, then please consider hitting that subscribe button. We're getting ever closer to, of course, 2,500. That would be amazing if we could get there fairly soon. But don't forget, of course, to give the bell a tickle, a squeeze, or, of course, a smash to never miss any of the great content coming out from TNI UK and the US teams each and every week. And, of course, TNA related. Because that's what we do. We talk Impact. We talk TNA. We are the premier destination for TNA-related content on YouTube. So make sure you give us a sub. With all that said, I've been Bison. They've been, of course, the Joker and the Limpster. And this has been episode 189 of Impacted. Take care, everyone.
Take care, guys.